Who else is excited for Spider-Man Far From Home? Welcome back to The Binger, everyone. With the drop of the new Far From Home trailer, we just got a huge look at Peter Parker's life at the end of Marvel Phase 3. This is the epilogue, and deals directly with the fallout from Avengers Endgame. So naturally, there are plenty of spoilers ahead. After the massive success of Spider-Man Homecoming, almost nobody could have predicted that Peter Parker would get snapped away a few short movies later. And as soon as he disappeared, he reappeared again 5 years later, none the wiser. But while he was gone, the events of Avengers Endgame changed everything. Naturally, this weighs heavily on Far From Home, so we want to dive in deep to all the nods to the previous MCU masterpiece. So without further ado, here's every Avengers Endgame reference in Spider-Man Far From Home. Alright, if you start a brand new, hype-inducing trailer with a spoiler alert for your fans, it's pretty obvious that you know what just hit the fan. Right before the intense trailer begins, all Spider-Man fans were treated to a special message from Peter Parker actor himself, Tom Holland. It's just one giant warning to see Avengers Endgame before the Far From Home trailer, or risk getting your mind blown. And anybody who has followed the Avengers press tours knows how really ironic this is coming from Tom Holland. He's the absolute king of spoilers. But we digress. The announcement that there would be a new Spider-Man movie after Endgame that wouldn't be a prequel gave us the obvious spoiler that the snap would be somehow undone. But now, we're being treated to actual world-changing material. So let's jump in. The original teaser trailer showed some interesting moments and gave us the concept of Peter traveling overseas on a European vacation. It was fun-loving and comedic, like a lot of other MCU movies. But this new full-length trailer instantly proves that things aren't so fun and dandy in the Spider-Verse. Peter Parker crouches in his Tony Stark-built suit, staring off into the distance. A full-length mural of Iron Man is there. Apparently, the world as we know it has become fully aware of the massive sacrifice that Tony Stark made to save the planet. These paintings and dedications appear all over the streets throughout the trailer, which makes us think back to something that was said way back in Infinity War. Right before Thanos is about to take out Iron Man, he utters the phrase, "You have my respect, Stark. When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive. I hope they remember you." It's evident that the large majority that survived because of Stark do remember the man, and very fondly. Their existence is owed to the billionaire former playboy philanthropist with the suit. And now, he's ascended to martyrdom. Peter had begun to think of Stark as a father figure. He taught him lessons that he won't soon forget, and Peter's having a hard time dealing with this massive loss. It makes total sense why Peter would want to get away and go on summer vacation, where he doesn't have to even think about anything Spider-Man. Even when Aunt May suggests he take a suit, he rebukes her, saying that there is no need for a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in Europe. But she packs his original suit anyways, and off he goes. Happy is even along for the ride sometime later, playing the comedic relief role per usual. We get another reference to how much things have changed since Endgame when we encounter an unexpected visitor. As Pete hangs with Ned in his hotel room, suddenly his pal collapses. It seems like Ned can never catch a break in these movies. There's a dart in his neck, but who shot it at him? Was it an enemy? Was it Mysterio? And then the big reveal of Nick Fury. It seems that since the final snap, Fury will be taking over the mentor/boss role for the foreseeable future. There's a serious void left with the untimely ends of Iron Man and Black Widow, and the retirement of Captain America, and Nick Fury wants Pete to fill it. Apparently overcome with grief, Peter is just a little bit more than reluctant to take on the role. I mean, doesn't the guy get any vacation time? If you've watched Avengers Endgame, you might notice a parallel here between Spider-Man and Tony Stark. After the snap took out half of humanity, Tony just wants a break from the pain. In Endgame, instead of trying to save everyone at first, he moves on and creates a new family with Pepper in a cabin in the woods. Iron Man takes one heck of a vacation, and it's all motivated by grief and wanting to move on. Sound familiar? From what little we know from the trailer, it sounds like Peter Parker's motivation to escape grief will be a major theme in Far From Home. Like father, like son, right? Well, father figure. Anyways, Peter suggests that this power vacuum be filled by bigger heroes that he's recently met. Like, how about Thor? Nick Fury tells Peter that he's off-world. This references the end of Endgame, when Thor decides to join the Guardians of the Galaxy on their journey. Or should we say, as Guardians of the Galaxy. We're really excited to watch the power struggle between Peter Quill and Thor in that Phase 4 movie. So if Thor can't help, how about Captain Marvel? Well, Kobe Smolder's Maria Hill lets him know that she's unavailable. This could mean quite a few things, and each option is a little more intriguing than the next. It could be similar to what she said in Endgame, where Carol mentions all the other planets in the universe that need help and only had her to turn to. Or it could be referring to her next story in Captain Marvel 2, where an unknown battle could be raging that we haven't even caught a glimpse of yet. Or Captain Marvel could be traveling through the multiverse. Yep, the next reference to Endgame happens in the trailer when Peter meets an all-new character, a Mr. Beck, aka Mysterio, one of Spider-Man's most interesting villains in the comics. Here, we're told by Fury that Beck is from Earth, just not our Earth. Apparently, the snap tore a hole in our dimension, allowing heroes, or villains, to travel between worlds. What makes this particularly intriguing is the fact that Mysterio is being portrayed as a hero to help fight the newly discovered elementals. Could this be true and everything that happens can be taken at face value? Of course, but probably not. Let's get real for a second. Mysterio is known for trickery, both in his speech and his illusions. In the comics, he was known as a special effects wizard for the movie industry. And now the very CGI elementals are attacking the city? It sounds almost like an inside joke for the MCU. Quentin Beck also wanted to become an actor in the comics. Could this simply be an act that the Far From Home Beck is pulling on Spidey and the gang? What if there is no multiverse at all, but simply a convincing and hypnotic story told by Mysterio that Fury and company believed? There are a lot of questions yet to be answered. And we're sure there will be even more cameos that haven't even been revealed yet. But one thing we do know for sure is that Avengers Endgame's plot and major moments will weigh heavy on the events of Far From Home. The Phase 3 epilogue likely won't see as many character endings as Endgame, but we're sure there will be just as many surprises. Assuming that the multiverse explanation is real and Mysterio isn't just pulling one over on us, what does this revelation mean for the future of the MCU? And for the future of Phase 4? Well, the mega hit movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse introduced a similar concept, allowing different versions of the same character to appear in one movie together. We know Miles Morales is the star of the show, but does the multiverse mean that Miles could appear in the current MCU? We know Donald Glover portrayed Aaron Davis in Spider-Man Homecoming. If you saw Spider-Verse or read the comics, you know Aaron was the uncle of Miles and actually a villain in the movie as well. So we know that Miles exists in one form or another in the current MCU. With the multiverse existence, it opens up the door for another version of Morales to appear in the world we know, and possibly fight alongside Parker. Tom Holland still has at least one more Spider-Man solo movie left, so don't expect Miles Morales to take over the role permanently anytime soon. And if that wasn't enough, this information could even open up a chance down the line for the X-Men to join up with the Avengers. If you think about it, this would solve any future problems that the MCU has with casting. You know there would be a big backlash if Hugh Jackman wasn't playing Wolverine. But what if Wolverine was an alternate universe Wolverine? Would people care as much? Or would they just be happy to see the character joining up with the Avengers? Or how about Tom Hardy's Venom? Or the Fantastic Four? The possibilities are almost endless. And remember, this all stems from the Endgame snap, opening up an entirely new world of heroes. Phase 4 will be here before we know it, and our questions will finally be answered. But until then, let's enjoy Far From Home and keep those multiverse theories coming in. Well, that wraps up this video. Did we miss any Endgame references? Let us know down in the comment section. And before you go, do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button too, so you don't miss any awesome content from The Binger. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.